Hi everybody, welcome back, and this time I've got a pistol, not just any pistol. This is the ICS BLE XAE. Yeah, bit of a mouthful, but that stands for ICS, of course, the brand. BLE, believe it or not, stands for Black Leopard Eye, and AXE stands for Extreme Ambidextrous E. Honestly, I ain't got a bloody clue, but for now on, I'm just going to call it the BLE. So, what do you get with this little handy pistol? Well, I'm going to go, as always, from the front to the back, and I'll talk about all the features. And before, I know what you're thinking, is this pistol worth it? Well, the short answer is yes. And the long answer is yeah. Why is it so cool? Well, what you get for your money, it's pretty incredible. You've got a aluminium slide. You've got an injection molded polymer frame as well. It comes with 14mm counterclockwise threads as standard. It's, as the name suggests, completely ambidextrous. So you've got ambidextrous slide release there, ambidextrous magazine release on both sides. So that's very nice. I do love the trades on there. They are quite nice. You've got the Black Leopard Eye logo written just there. You've got the name just there, which is okay, and then you've got unique serial number, which is, look, for some reason people make such a big deal about unique serial numbers, and I'm really not sure why. If you buy a can of Coke, it'll have a unique serial number on it. So airsoft manufacturers, please stop making a big deal about unique serial numbers. Anyway, rant over. It's got 9mm there, which is quite nice. And it's got 6mm there. Why'd you do that, ICS? That's very annoying. So, what I like about it too is it comes as standard with a little thread adapter to go from the pistol threads to a 14mm counterclockwise threads. So if you ever wanted to mount suppressors, you could do that straight away. I've never really done that with pistols because most pistols I have are like the falling barrel, if you know what I mean. So the barrel's not fixed, it kind of moves around, it's a bit wobbly, which means the suppressor that you mount is usually a bit wobbly. So I never use it, but if you want to, you can do that. Ooh, that's some nice slide action. I'll talk about that later. Now you'll notice that I've got a extended barrel going right to the end there. Now if you were to buy this brand new, you wouldn't get that. The barrel ends about there, so it's fairly short. I added the longer barrel there because I just wanted to push a little bit more velocity out of the BB with every shot. It doesn't hamper performance too much. The range and accuracy is still pretty the same. I can't really talk about the range and accuracy for this gun in this review, unfortunately, because believe it or not, I've only ever used it on a chrono, and I haven't actually shot it outside yet. You know, we're in lockdown, I can't play, what's going on? Anyway, underneath there, you've got a standard 20mm rail, or is it 20mm? So I mounted this flashlight, as you can see, pretty standard. But I had to use a little bit of tape on the inside there, so you've got like Velcro tape, just to make sure it was nice and rigid. Before that, it felt very loose, so I would almost hesitate to say it was about 1 millimeter too thin to have a nice reliable mount of any sort of flashlights. So bear that in mind. If you do want to get this gun, you probably want to solve that problem like I did. Now you've got pretty standard controls. Obviously that's your slide release there. Slide release there, and that would be to take the slide off as well. So I won't go into too much detail about them, but let's talk about this trigger. Now, It's got two safeties built into the trigger, so you have to have your thumb lower to depress that in order to depress the trigger there. And then you've also got that little stud, which if you push it through, means you can't physically pull the trigger. Some people like this, some people don't. I haven't had the gun for very long to know if I'd really use that much, but you've got that option there if you want it. Moving back, you've got the pistol grip there, which is, you know, it's actually got some really nice stippling on it and some really quite aggressive serrations in there.
Ow!
So you are going to get a good grip, but you might want to wear gloves. You'll also notice that they've got the
Black Leopard Eye
logo in there, which is a nice little touch. But ICS must be embarrassed about this gun, because the only place you'll find their logo is, I don't know if you can see that, right in there. And you know, ICS, are you embarrassed or something? Put your logo somewhere else, just where we can see it. Only joking, of course, but it is a nice little Easter egg to have in a gun. Another thing to note about this grip is that you can change these back straps for a larger one that comes with the gun. It's really easy to do. You just push down, off it comes, so you can make sure you've got a grip that's good and comfortable for you. Yeah, it's all right. Another nice feature I like are the sights. Now, they're not raised sights, they're quite low in fact, so if you do run a suppressor, bear that in mind. However, the little white dots, you can see that, are extremely clear, and they actually glow in the dark as well, so I'm not sure what paint they use, but it's pretty amazing. Put it on other stuff, ICS, it's really, really nice. The recoil of the gun is really snappy. Now, the recoil spring isn't that powerful, but with the lightened frame, you've got these little cutouts on the side. It doesn't give you a lot of recoil per se, but it's a very fast and very crisp cycling action. So it is a really nice gun to shoot. Now, as I said previously, the recoil impulse is actually really nice and snappy. You can get quick follow-up shots fairly well with this gun, and it does feel really nice to shoot. I was getting shots from between about 305 FPS to about 290, even dropping low as 280 as soon as it gets to the lower part of the magazine. Now, I don't know if it's just because I was in a cold environment or because that's just the way the gun is, but do bear that in mind that the FPS seems to fluctuate about 15 FPS with each shot. So the consistency isn't incredible, but when you consider what I paid for the gun, I can't really complain at all. Now, this comes apart just like any other pistol really. First thing you want to do is just take the mag out, obviously. Pull back the slide, rotate that catch, and off it comes. This will be a good opportunity to show you where the hop up is. It's just that little dial there. Further back for more hop, forward for less. It's fairly stiff, and haven't worn it in yet, but it seems okay so far. You get a nice amount of grease as well, straight from the factory, so you don't have to worry about that. And all in all, so far so good. You're probably looking at this and thinking, okay, but what is it? Well, it doesn't actually exist in the real world. It's their own design. It's mostly based off the FNS9 pistol. It's not a bad thing though, although it is completely unique pistol that doesn't exist in real world. This will fit into pretty much any Glock holster that you can find, which is great for me because I save even more money by using my old Glock holster. Happy days. Boys and girls, let's talk about the mags for a sec. So they're fairly standard. They hold about 22, 24 rounds. For me, they've been okay. I haven't had any issues with cooldown necessarily. For me, in a fairly, not too cold environment. The gas efficiency has been okay. I can get about a mag and a half, maybe 2 mags if I don't shoot too fast, worth of gas out of one of these magazines, and that's been okay. However, that's not been everybody's experience. There's a lot of reviews out there and a lot of people talk about the really poor gas efficiency of these magazines. Not been my experience yet. Perhaps it's something that happens over time, but be careful, you never know. And you know how gas mags can be, especially in UK weather. So ladies and gents, this is the ICS BLE XAE,
or the Black Leopard Eye.
Really great effort from ICS, I think. For a gun that's under 100 quid, you get so much bang for your buck. I would recommend this to new players. I would recommend this to existing players like myself. It's just a really inexpensive way to round out your collection, but it's also a very, very usable pistol. Supposedly it's got some really good range, but I haven't been able to shoot outside, unfortunately. Only been able to shoot on the chronograph, which I showed you earlier. But finally, I'm going to reveal how much I paid for this. Like I say, I thought it was an absolute bargain, and I still maintain that now that I've received the gun. So, I paid for this entire gun, brand spanking new, £83. Now, I'm not saying you can get it that cheap now, but I'll tell you, even if it was £90 or £100, I think it's very much worth it. This is a very, very nice, inexpensive pistol that you can have a lot of fun with.